understands that value of the seat. The senator understands the value of the seat. But the real question is, do you understand the value of the seat? You, the people of Kau, who now have a chance to shape the destiny of this island. The seat is the destiny of this island. We had turned the corner 2 years ago. And like I said, I got thrown in this job. And just imagine you, because I had the same amount of political savvy as any of you sitting there today. But after 2 years, I'm much better. I made many mistakes. You people know most of it. But I had enough people behind me who were strong enough to call me. I'll never forget the crucial day it made a turn. This man, Eddie Ugali, called me after I lost the race, or I consider it a loss when I took second. After Sake getting up, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was not going to get up, phone rings, 6 a.m. in the morning, this man named Eddie Ugali calls me, says, "Guy, you got to repent." Sunday, God's calling me already. But Eddie Ugali calls, says, "You got to go to the paper and talk to them." He convinced me of my wrongdoing in not speaking to the paper. He said, "How will I hear you?" He said, "There are people who want to know, and if you don't tell them, how will they know?" He was one of many voices that said the same thing to me after I lost that initial primary. And it opened my eyes. In coaching, which I've done for some 26 years, you learn that everybody makes mistakes. And you don't worry about your mistakes. It's not the mistakes that determine the character of a man. It's his reaction to it. And I recognize that mistake. And I am so glad I lost that primary. If I had won that primary, I would have never seen that. Eddie may never have called me. It is a blessing that I took second in that race. Because now my eyes are open. Because now I cannot do this alone. The forces are too great. What at stake is too great, and I'm reaching out as far as my arms will throw me. If it was just about Kau, maybe I could do this alone. But we have an island to carry, Kau. Kau, you have an island to carry. Every politician out there knows that. And the ones who oppose us, the ones who want the majority to go back to where it was 2 years ago, are fighting for this seat. Mr. Palago, Ms. Ford, Mr. Huffman, Mr. Yagam are the same people who was there 2 years ago that controlled the majority. The missing link is Mr. Bob Jacobson, whose philosophies, way of thinking, and views on issues are very similar to my opponent today. If we allow the same majority to take hold of our county council majority, and you go back with the same things we've had before, my prediction is you'll see a council that does not work with the administration. You'll see a council do everything they can to make the changes or disagreements with our mayor. Because there are political aspirations in their mind. 2 years from now, there's a mayoral race. So people, if you look up here, commitments made, commitments kept. I'm not going to talk about all of this. I'm just going to be very short. I made 3 commitments 2 years ago. One, that I would listen to all the voices and I would act in the majority. If you look at our list of the things, and hopefully maybe you can pick up some of those things. But this is the list of all the things that were brought to our district. Millions of dollars into our district in the worst of economic times. It didn't just happen. I held over 24 community talk stories in our district. That's over one talk story per month. I went out and found out what people needed. In fact, when I first got into office, the first cry I heard was from Ocean View. Ocean View said, "We need a larger tank, Mr. Enriquez. How are you going to help us? We got a well dug, but we only get money enough for a 100,000-gallon tank. It's not going to serve us." I wrote my first bill, Bill 152. It garnered $400,000 to Ocean View for a 300,000-gallon tank. That was big. When the administration under Mayor Kinoy came to the council and says, "We want to charge for spigot water," at first I thought the reasoning was logical, and I supported it. But then after I heard the cries from the community, "Don't charge us for spigot water. We haul more water than anybody else. The time we take to get the water is longer and more money and more time spent than anybody who turns that faucet." I had more testimony, hours of testimony on this issue than any other. I had more emails on my computer than any other. So I changed my mind. And I wrote Bill 239, and now people of Ka'u who have to haul their water, the people of our district who have to haul their water now is free and unlimited, or limited only to what you can carry. That's legal limit of your vehicle. We but we have a hold on our transfer station out in Ocean View. And I went to work on putting in a 3-day-a-week temporary transfer bin. And we're about 2 months away from getting that in Ocean View. I know you all remember when our transfer station got closed off for only 3 days, was it 3 days a week, and 9 to 6. I was the first guy in the mayor's office saying, "We're suffering out here. It's not working." And now you have hours of 6:30 to 6:30 to throw your garbage. But that was me in the mayor's office pushing for that. Our people that travel to Kona, we got a taste of the Hokulea bypass. Got open for just the afternoon, and it killed the Kainulea crawl. On that success, I was in the mayor's office, and I said to him, "Why can't we have it 7 days a week, 12 hours a day?" And that's what we have today. And that's working together. All these things here are a list of things that really comes from hard work and working together, and I believe I've proven that. But I want to kind of not go through that anymore, but I want to talk about this. We got an opponent that's young. We got an opponent that's just out of college. And we got an opponent with great ideas. And I can tell you, it's not going to replace the 30 years of lifelong experience that I have. I don't think she knows what it's like to have a child, or 5 boys like I do, to see that you got to put food on the table for these people, that you got to send them to school, that you got to stay home and away, helping them with their homework, you got to tend to them when they're sick. I don't think she's experienced what it's like to run a business. I run the largest volleyball camp in the country. I hire 50 to 70 coaches every summer. I fire people, I hire people, I work with them. I have the largest volleyball camp for a reason. And I have that experience behind me. 30 years of life experience. That's hard to replace when you're 27 years old. So if both of us are going into this thing with the same lack of experience in politics, I can't believe she says she has more than I do. I have 2 years of council experience.